Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Ranger Mario, and today I have a great guest here from the Pullman Group. She's a mom, a wife, and a realtor in the Katy area. Let's give it up for Maram.
Hi. Woo.
So how's your day going?
It's going great. It's been a busy day.
Busy day, right?
Busy long day.
All right. So we had some changes in our industry.
Big changes.
The NAR settlement. We have an increase of buyers interested in the market. And the interest rates just dropped. How has it been with these changes?
It's been different for sure. And a lot of talking with clients, either new clients or even when you're prospecting and or having an open house, which is usually what I do. I would say it's my main source of business. And a lot of explaining. I explain to them a lot, and they always listen, and they're interested to know. Because apparently, every time I explain to them the NAR settlement, they tell me it's the first time they heard of it. And it's kind of shocking, and it makes it a little bit sad, because as realtors, we are supposed to educate our clients and potential clients before we start the process, because we don't want to have more hiccups in our transactions. It's already complicated enough. With this settlement, it just makes it a little bit more complicated, but nothing that we cannot manage.
Right. So some markets are experiencing a downtime.
Yeah, slower than usual.
Yeah, usually slower. There's been agents who spoke about how they haven't gotten any traffic on their open houses. And some markets have gone 5, 6, maybe up to 20 people, 50 people. What can we expect for the fall?
It's kind of hard to predict what to expect, but I can tell you, the area where I work, it's mostly the price that makes it a little bit slower, which is very odd, because before, any property above $100,000, it sits on the market for a little bit longer, because not everyone has $1 million laying around. But for the homes that they're 500 and 600,000, they sell fairly quickly. And for the past couple of months, we've been seeing the opposite. So homes that they've been listed at 500 and 600,000, they sit on the market for a month or even 2, and it's very slow. But for properties, the luxury homes, they sell over the weekend with multiple offers. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's not usual. And so, as much as we're happy with selling homes quickly, especially in that price range, but for the 500 and 600, they've been sitting for way too long. I do have a couple on that price range, and I did open houses, and it's been slow. So you do an open house. Last one, I had 3 families coming in. 2 of them are neighbors.
Right, yeah. Usually
so pretty much, they're not looking to buy. They're just nosy neighbors. And one was a potential buyer, and he was still looking around. So it's been very slow.
Right.
For me, it's not the area. It's mostly the price than the location.
Right.
But hopefully it's going to pick up since interest rates is dropping. I think this is what's going to drive the buyers.
That's what we're expecting. Somewhat of a hope to increase of visitors to come out in the open houses. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're definitely looking forward to that.
Right.
Because most of the buyers have been on, they've been looking for homes, but they always feel if they wait, it's better for them. Even though when you explain to them the reason why it's not, they still kind of don't care as long as their monthly is lower.
Right.
Because we tell them you're going to pay overall for the price of the home. That the final price is going to be much more higher when the interest rates are lower. And I tell them you can buy now and refinance later. Some of them, they get it, and they're very open-minded, and they understand, and they do the math and they realize it is, and you can, as a buyer, you can go under option period, 7 or even 10 days. You can ask for, you can negotiate.
Yeah.
You have more than just a wiggle room, But when the interest rate drops and you're gonna be in a multiple offer situation, these are the toughest situations for buyers. It's very stressful.
Right. There's also been a misconception with the new settlement where buyers are, or the seller is not obligated to pay. But most often, when they opt to do that, their contracts fell apart, their deals fell apart. What are some challenges that a buyer might face?
Well, not just the financial aspect of it, it's more complicated than that. It is the liability aspect of it. This is what's scary, because you have unrepresented buyer because they don't want to pay the 3% for their buyer agent, and you have a seller who they need to deal with that buyer, especially if he's offering a good amount of money for the property, but that person is unrepresented. So if he or she pays for the roof, for example, and then he hears from his friend, oh, the roof should have been paid for by the seller, and then he decides to sue the seller. You didn't tell me. They're going to use that, to their advantage. Oh, you didn't tell me I'm unrepresented because I'm saving you money. So you have to deal with me, but then you think you're saving, as a seller, you think you're saving the 3%. And if that buyer decides to sue you for the smallest thing, you're going to spend way more than 3% just to get that lawsuit away from you.
Right, yeah. So you're a boy mom, right?
Yeah, I got 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
How do you manage to keep track of them and also work as an entrepreneur?
So luckily they're older. They are 9 and 13, so they don't need me 100%. They are very independent, and I do most of my work when they're in school, because I work from home, so or
Right.
from whatever, but mostly
Yeah,
from home. But
remotely.
yeah, and it's quiet when they're in school. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And if they're not, because I'm doing my CE classes these days, and whenever they come from school while I'm still in the class, because it's on Zoom, I just lock myself in a room and I'm like, Mommy got a class, and then I have a test after that, so be quiet.
Right.
And they used to it. Like when they see me on the phone, they know I'm with a client, so they have to be quiet and they have to whisper, or like they hand gestures, and I'm like, okay, come back.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not easy, but it is what it is.
Right. You travel around
Yeah.
the world, country. You're from Europe, right?
Yeah.
Generally, Malta's
Yeah.
Europe. Has there been a culture shock when coming to America or coming to Houston?
Not at all. Which I was surprised, and it's not that huge of a difference. This is the closest place I can call home, because everything is very similar. I lived in Malaysia for a long time, and that was a culture shock. Even the hand gesture when you're going somewhere,
Yeah.
it's literally universal. Not in Malaysia, it's not.
Right.
They have a hand gesture when you're looking for a parking spot, and someone's going to tell you no, because they just got here, so you don't need to wait for them. Because you think they're leaving, but they just got in. And they want to give you that hand gesture that's like, no. Would you just say no? And because they just parked.
Right.
They do this, which is, for us, it means what?
Okay.
It's like, what?
Right.
So it's pretty different, yeah. And I'm like, why? He's asking me what? So I roll down my window, and I'm like, are you leaving? And he's like, no. And he's still doing the hand gesture. And then we figured out, I was like, oh, that means no.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was your previous background before real estate?
My first job ever, I was a recruiter, which is my favorite job. I love it because it's not 100% office job, because you get to go recruit on sites in certain companies or job fairs, and it's not 100% office job. I do not like office job, like 9 to 5. It drives me crazy. And then I did, it's something about international students studying abroad and learning new cultures, and so I was the one responsible for that. So there isn't just one title for that job. It was like 3 or 4 jobs in one, because I was their first hire and they were a startup company.
Okay.
That was fun too, but it was pretty stressful. I did not like it. And then the last job before I became a realtor, I used to work as a data analyst. Also did not like it because it's 9 to 5 office job. There's no, it's not like you work from different locations or you're driving around. No, it's 9 to 5 staring at a screen. It was tough.
Right. So what does joy look like today?
What does what?
Joy, happiness,
Freedom.
freedom.
Yeah, freedom and everything. Freedom and flexibility in life. This is what brings us, I think, as a human being, a lot of joy. Because we're not meant to stay in one place. You know, that's why the 9 to 5. It's not for everyone.
Right.
Especially nowadays where people attention span like a fish. So that's not going to work.
What life lessons did you learn the hard way?
Don't trust people. Especially in our job, because you think you're doing the right thing, which you are, but then you get surprised with the way they take it. Because when they know, it's like when you deal with a client, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a home. Take me for this. Take me to see this home, and you go and you drive around. You show them these homes and make all this booking and scheduling and mapping out which one is closer, the house, and blah blah blah. They don't know how much work just to show 5-6 homes a day. The planning that goes behind the scene, and then they either cancel on you, or after showing them 20 homes, they're like, we changed our mind.
That's tough.
It burns, and it hurts so badly. And I think this is one of the worst parts, because you're doing your absolute best, but then you find yourself dealing with people that they were just thinking they weren't ready, and they know they're not ready,
right.
but they're just using you, and it hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah, and we've all been there.
Yeah. Are you happy with yourself?
In general, or in my career?
Where are you at this point?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy because I'm always setting up new set of plans and set of goals every year, and I push my limits. Because if you reach everything you want and then you just stop, it's not how it works. Mm-hmm. I'm very ambitious, so I always put. If I reach my goal last year, my goal was to cap, and I did way more than that. Yeah. So I'm setting a higher standards and higher goals, and this is, I think, how we progress and develop in our lives.
Right. So, was it part of the plan, you becoming over here, like becoming a realtor, coming to America?
No, not necessarily, because not in a million years I never thought I would be here. I just didn't want to be here, honestly. But my husband being in oil and gas, we don't get to really choose where we want to go. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to become a realtor when we were in Malaysia, but I couldn't do it because of safety reasons.
Yeah.
So when I came here, I thought I have to live at least, 10 years in the place before I become a realtor, just to actually realize, that I don't need to wait all that long, and everything is online. There's all this data to help you about the market and the areas. You don't have to experience it yourself. Like, which areas are the hot, which ones are for like young couple, which one's for a big family with kids, which one is, good for when it comes to schools. Some people want to be close to a hospital because they need the medical care. So it's something that I wanted to do in a long time, but I didn't get the chance to do it fully because of my lifestyle, and we're traveling a lot and all of that.
So living in Katy What's your favorite thing to do out there?
Tricky question. There's quite a few things I like to do, Katie.
Right.
But I would say it depends who am I with. If I'm with my husband, what we're gonna do, or if it's with my friends or with my kids. So if I'm with my kids, I would usually like to go to somewhere we can play indoors games, and they're older, so we don't do parks,
Right.
and stuff, or trampoline parks. We don't do that anymore. So there is this place called Activate. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I heard of it.
It is awesome. I've been there so many times. It's like I should have a membership with them.
Oh, okay.
It is really fun. You will enjoy it. So I would say, yeah, this is one of the things I like to do. And I like to go restaurants and like grill and bars, places where they have, nice snacks, and I like to try
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. What made you smile this week?
My kids and my husband, my family usually make me smile.
Aww.
Yeah. There's this meme that says, if you are a boy mom, they just all of a sudden they come to you, Mommy, you look so pretty. It's just out of nowhere. Or, Mommy, I love you so much. It's like they're full of love, and they just shower me with love and compliments. I'm like, that was making me smile.
Right.
Yeah.
So the kids just went back to school, right?
Which is awesome.
Awesome. Have you had like a part of you was like lonely? You felt lonely there?
Yeah, oh yeah. First week of school, it's always like that. You're gonna miss them because you spend the whole summer with them doing activity, traveling, and then all of a sudden you don't see them for most of the day. And you just cannot wait. Like, I get a notification on my phone when the bus is coming, and I'm literally waiting
What?
at the front door and waiting for them to come. It is like it's the best part of my day when they start going to school, is like when they come home.
What's the happiest memory you ever had?
I have a lot of those.
Lots.
Yeah, I consider myself fortunate. I don't know, I cannot pin it down to one memory. Because, the older you get, the more events happen in your life. So it's kind of hard to choose only one.
Right.
I mean, if I'm going to say my kids, that's itself, it's two, because I got two of them. So this is two happiest moments of my life.
Right. What's your biggest pet peeve being in real estate?
That realtors just opened the door. You hear a lot of people say that. Or they believe, they think it's such an easy job because they're watching Netflix shows about real estate. What is it called? Selling Sunset.
Home Garden. Oh,
Selling Sunset. I'm like,
Netflix,
it's not
yeah.
like that. It is really not like that.
you watch it?
No. I saw the trailer and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, what the hell is this? No, it's not like that. So, yeah, I would say that this is my biggest pet peeve.
I've seen a few episodes, and it's just like a similar drama reality show.
Yeah, and I feel it's all fake.
It's so typical
Yeah.
to like the Bachelors, Under Below.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those shows.
I don't like
Probably
reality
not.
TV shows, not at all. I feel like my brain cells dying when I watch them because it's not life. This is a script.
Right.
And it's a cheesy script. It's not even a nice one. So it's, not my favorite thing.
Right. So, the brokerage that's in that Netflix show, there's been deals that fell apart because of that show, and it's costing the brokerage.
No way.
Yes.
And he's still doing the show?
They still doing it. Well, they have a contract.
Oh,
You gotta pay the
okay.
contract,
But maybe if he was making more money out of Netflix than the deals, then why not?
Well, they got paid like about $5 million to do the show, but that $5 million is not really worth those other deals falling apart
Yeah.
because it is California and it's LA, and so like the cost over there is way high up,
Yeah.
and then they would probably be better off without doing the show.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if it's like $5 million for the whole duration of the show, which is, I don't know, if it's like multiple seasons, then it's definitely not beneficial. Well, they deserve it. Maybe next time they can actually show some serious work ethics and what we actually do, and
Right.
not all that useless stuff. It's like, oh, I just showed them the house. It's $10 million, and they're gonna put an offer. Boom, closed, paid. No, it is not like that.
So there's some several brokerages, hundreds of them. Why Memorial?
I actually didn't even interview other brokerages. I have a neighbor, and I remember we were talking, and we were talking about real estate, and I told him how, like, my life and how I moved to so many different homes, and my dad in real estate, and I was his lucky charm. So whenever my dad has a property that doesn't lease, he's like, "Okay, let's go with me." And I go with them, and it leaves. You know, like, whoever see that property that day is like, I love it. I'm gonna lease it. I need a 5 or 10 years contract. You know, like, he gets the best deal. And as I mentioned, because I wanted to do it in a long time, I just wasn't in the right place or the right time for me. And then I was talking to my neighbor about that because he's in real estate, and he was like, "You're gonna do great," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "You should." And then he brought me a book. The
Million Real Estate Agent.
Exactly. And I read that book, and then I bought the course. I did it all virtual, and yeah, and I came to his broker.
Forgot
So,
about that.
yeah, so because why not? You know, he's my neighbor. I know him. I trust him, and he has one of the biggest brokerages, and I'm happy, and I don't regret it at all because it has the biggest international committee, and since I'm not from here, it feels amazing. You know, like it's
Right.
like you find your people. We all have the same struggles. Like every time you go back home, you don't know when is the next time you're going to see your family. Because there's like little things that people never think about. It's like, oh, your life is amazing. You travel here, you travel there. Yeah, but there's the upsetting side where you don't get to see your family as much. And every time you see them, you start thinking, it's like, is it going to be the last time I'm going to meet my family? It hurts.
Right.
And with the international committee, it just feels. It
Feel
just
like
feels
home.
yeah.
Right.
I feel good when I'm with them. Which
get
it's
to-
been a long time since I attended one of the meetings.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'm trying.
Right. So you've been. Do you ever go back to Malta?
No, last time I went there was 2013. So the thing is, you realize it doesn't matter where you're from, as long as you live abroad, and then you go back home every summer. Then you're spending so much time and effort and money to see the same place over and over again. I would much rather go somewhere else.
It's expensive.
Not compared to here.
Right.
Here is much more expensive. It's just tickets. I would say for the whole family, you're gonna end up with like 7,000-8,000 just to go, just on tickets.
Oh, do y'all all live here?
Yeah. You mean like only my husband and kids, but my parents and my siblings, they're not here.
Okay.
And my siblings are everywhere because each one of us, it's also an expat. It depends on your job where they sent you because they also know oil and gas.
Oh, they all. Okay.
Yeah. So the closest one I have, he's in Vancouver. So yeah. He's my go-to. You know, it's like he's literally 3 hours away from me.
It's literally a part of America or
Exactly.
the U.S.
He's the only one I can
Practically.
call without checking what time is it. You
Yeah.
know, because my family, there's like 7 or 8 hours time difference. I have to check the time before I call. But he's the only one who's right here, and that feels
Closer.
nice.
It's like 3 hours ahead behind us.
No, in Vancouver,
Yeah, Vancouver is like Pacific.
I think it was.
time.
I think it's like an hour or two, maximum 2 hours.
Oh yeah, two.
Yeah, because I literally don't check the time when I call because
Oh.
if it's like 3 hours, it's gonna be a little too much, especially if it's nighttime and he
Right.
sleeps early. Then yeah, I have to check the time, but it's just 2 hours. It's good.
Okay, right. Do you have any goals set for the upcoming 6 months?
My goals for this year is to do better than last year. But again, if I don't do that, it's still okay because eventually our job it's based on the markets and there's a lot of changes. So I'm not gonna beat myself about it. I'm still working towards it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna achieve it, but but I'm usually committed. I usually get what I want.
Right.
Yeah.
So, are you ever concerned about your kids' education?
Yeah, of course. Especially like at school, you learn stuff that you don't actually need, and you feel like they're wasting their time going to school full day and they not learning the things that they actually need to learn. I would much rather teach my kids how to file their taxes than algebra.
Right.
You know, did you ever use anything like when it comes to math? You literally use the basics in your life.
I cheated my way, so
You're what?
I cheated my way.
And look at you. Look, you're doing fine. Did you need it? Did you miss it? No.
No.
It's like, name all the countries in the world, or like, what is the capital of blah, blah, blah. You don't need to waste all that effort just for that, because you can just Google it.
Right.
You know how they say, oh, you need to learn how to do math and all that stuff.
Well,
I was like, you're not going to walk
some
around
math it
all
is
day.
important.
Yeah, the basics, honestly.
Right.
But then the rest, you really don't need it. And then they say, it's not like you're gonna walk around with a calculator in your hand. Well,
We're ready.
I actually do. It's my phone. It's more than calculator, so I'm good.
Right. Yeah. So, what's that talk like? If your son or your kids were to go to college, will you force them to?
No, I will absolutely never force my kids to do anything, because I didn't grow up in a household where our parents forced us to do anything. They just see what you want to do, and they try to support you, and I will try to do the same to my kids. So if they want to pursue, like my oldest, every now and then he's hyper fixated on something new. And I support him because he's in that age where he needs to explore and try everything until he finds something that he actually likes.
Right.
So he wakes up and he does football early morning before the school. It's still in school, but before the classes start.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I've seen it.
oh, okay. So he goes there, he does football, goes to classes, come back home, couple hours, and then he goes play soccer. He's like registered in a soccer club, and he's doing amazing.
Oh,
and we were in
nice.
Austin last weekend, and he did great. He scored.
What?
Yeah, the team won because of him. So,
Nice.
and then the basketball season is going to start right after the football, and he's going to register because he did that last year. He's like,
Nice.
he's doing everything. My youngest, he's only doing taekwondo, but my first is like trying everything, and at the same time, he's having new talent every now and then. He's learning something new. So now he's focusing on music, and he's making music.
Aww.
He doesn't let me listen to any of it. But yeah, he's making music.
What kind of music?
I actually don't know.
You don't know?
I only listened to one. It was only the beat. So he makes beats, and then he got this
okay.
microphone that changes your voice. I don't know what he calls it, and I mean it was nice, and he's posting on Spotify. I'm like, okay, look at you.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, oh, it's not as good as blah, blah, blah. And he names me like a famous artist. I'm like, yeah. Exactly. I'm like, yeah, of course it's not, because you're comparing yourself to the top of the top.
Professional.
Exactly. And they have a whole team with them. You got your computer, your keyboard, your microphone in your little room. So do not compare. But it's good to see that he's ambitious and this is what he's looking up to.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't want to be a mediocre in whatever the things he's doing. So,
Right.
yeah. And I love that about him. And I know it's not going to continue the music, and he's going to pick up something new.
Right.
But I don't care. This is how it's supposed to be until he finds something. So, no, I would never force them to go to college. If they want to go, yes. If they don't, they don't. Because it doesn't mean they're losers. I wish if they become an entrepreneur. I actually don't want them to waste 4 years in college.
Right.
I didn't do any of... I didn't work any of the jobs that I did because of my college degree. I only did them because I speak multiple languages. Like, every time I go somewhere, they don't care about my education as long as, oh, you speak 5 different languages. There you go. Yeah.
Right.
And it works. So I don't think it's going to be beneficial to have a college degree by the time they are in that age.
Right.
They can ChatGPT their way.
Yeah. Do you ever feel burnout doing all these things?
Yeah.
What pushes you?
I don't know, when you're like, you have a lot of appointments back to back, and then you your own social life, because it's really hard to manage your family time, your social life, and then your career.
Mm-hmm.
And then your career itself, it has the networking events that you need to go to. And sometimes I stay like months without going to any networking event, but then they come back to back because I don't go to any of them. And then I notice, oh, the ones that I like, they actually this week. And one week I had to go to like 2 or 3 networking events, and then I don't know, the month after I was home. Like I need to relax. Christmas time is coming, and I know it's going to be hectic. Christmas time, it is busy everywhere. Like title companies, management, property management companies. Everyone is doing this happy hours, Christmas, blah blah blah. So between this, because it's beneficial, this is one other way to put your name out there. And then family, and then social, and you get burned out. So you have to. I started this year to take Sunday off. Sunday strictly off.
Me too.
Because last year I worked every day, and by the time I think it was October. That's the time when I went to Vancouver. I was like, I'm done. I cannot do this. I achieved my goal for this year. I'm out. I need a break. And I didn't make any work call when I was there, and it was amazing. You feel refreshed. You feel, like back to normal. I don't want to keep holding my phone and texting all the time.
Right.
So it felt really great. And coming back, I was like, this year I need to take a day off. This week is going to be Saturday off, but Sunday work. I have an open house on Sunday.
Reverse.
Exactly. But I'm trying to keep it always Sunday. The reason why it's because it's Monday, the beginning of the week, the day after. So I need to prepare certain stuff for the kids for the start of the week. I need to prepare stuff for myself. So you need to do things in the house and the laundry and their lunch boxes and all that. You need to schedule this stuff and get ready. So I prefer Sunday for sure.
Right. What's your biggest phobia?
I'm claustrophobic. I hate anything tiny. I hate these things where you need to make a phone call.
Phone booths?
Yes. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I feel like, they're going to collapse on me.
Oh. My biggest phobia was those tarantulas.
Oh.
Because of the Harry Potter movie.
Oh, okay.
That one scene with the spiders coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I just overcame when I was in high school. We had I was a junior, and one of the freshman classes had a pet tarantula.
I don't get people who have pets like that.
Right.
You don't pet it. It's called a pet because you pet it. You don't pet it. Like a snake. Some people have snakes.
Right, yeah. And so I just saw it, and I had I had this bag full of my cleats, sports equipment, and I just swung at it, and I killed it.
Oh my god!
And there were a few teachers who came out. Everyone was coming out like, "What the hell happened?" I was like, "Oh, I killed this spider."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I got away with it. Yeah, I got away with it. He's like,
well, it's not your fault, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what is the reaction you're going to get when you see a tarantula? Is it like, oh, let me feed it? Of course you're going to try to, I don't know, for me, I'm just going to try to run.
Right.
I'm not going to kill it, but I'm going to run for sure.
Yeah, I just overcame that phobia thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I hate anything that crawls.
Right.
Yeah, it makes your skin crawl.
What do you like to do the most?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. I like things that are entertaining. Because I get bored very quickly.
Right.
So I like something that, it's interesting and it keeps me focused and it keeps me excited and looking forward to it. So I like to do things like that. Activity, basically. Something that has a physical movement. Not something where we just sit and do nothing. Yeah, I like to move. If not, I would get frustrated.
Right, yeah. I think I have a problem where I start doing something,
Yeah.
and then something pops up in my head, and I start doing that. And
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. You're ADHD.
I don't know if it's a ADHD or something.
Because this is like the ADHD 101.
It just comes on, and something comes to pop up.
Uh-huh.
Then I go walk around the office. I clear my head, and I get anxious about it too.
Because you have a lot on your mind.
Yeah, like
Yep.
it's one on top of another.
Exactly. No, I get it.
Then it comes out, and then
Well, for me, it's not just the thoughts. I actually start a project, and then mid-project, oh, maybe I should do that thing. So when I first bought my house, I was doing some painting, because I love to do stuff by myself, like certain things. So I'm painting a certain wall, and I'm doing an accent on that wall, and then I'm doing a trim on the other wall, and it's like, the house looks like a mess. I have like 3-4 projects at the same time.
right.
So, and I just love them all, and I wish if I have more time to do more of it. And I'm actually doing another accent wall.
Okay.
I'll show you the picture once I'm done.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love having the talk with you. It's interesting.
Right.
Looking forward to do it with the video next time.
All right. Yeah, we will.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks.
Mario.